folks, and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. I'm your host, John, and we've got a small segment of the show this week because we only have one other person on the podcast, and it's Rose.
Hi, it's me. I'm one person. Just one.
Just un. Of course, I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're here. So otherwise it would just be one of us, I guess. That sounds alarming.
Do you think you'd be able to do a podcast by yourself, Rose?
I guess it wouldn't be that different from like doing like one of those YouTube essay type things. That actually sounds bad. That sounds really
All right, let's test it out. See you later.
Oh.
No, I'm not gonna do that to you.
I think I could do it. I'm not gonna say it'd be good.
I'm sure you could. I believe that you'd be able to, talk about a topic.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you could?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I think I could. If you had to make a YouTube video essay right now, what would it be about?
Probably either Nier Automata or Final Fantasy XIV. And then just MMOs in general. Sure.
I don't mean to rain on your parade, but do you think you'd be able to bring something new and interesting to the Nier Automata conversation?
I think there are a lot of topics that I've noticed personally just from the more meta-narrative of the game that I have not seen talked about at all, that I think I could definitely bring info to.
Absolutely. Okay. That's good to hear. I wanted to hear it from you. I am not going to question your ability to talk about Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know you can.
Yeah. Yeah, I sure can.
That's not meant to be a dig.
Oh, no. It's just true.
It's just the truth. I don't know. I mean, I've been throwing around some ideas for video essays, actually, because I've been watching a lot of them recently. It's a nice way to spend 40 minutes listening to some dude talk about whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's, a lot of people probably question how I'm able to play Final Fantasy XIV, like, to the degree that I do, but it's definitely in part because while I play, I can just listen to stuff like that, or podcasts and stuff like that, and, like, not do bad in the game while I do it. I don't have to focus on, like, some sort of story, because it's just, But yeah, I listened to, I can't remember his name, but there was an essay about Breath of the Wild that I really liked because they echoed a lot of my sentiments with it.
So it was an echo chamber, huh?
Yeah, just gotta hear what I gotta hear.
Yeah. I apologize for that. that was fucked up.
Apologize to Niall.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't have to apologize to him because he's gonna A, laugh at it, B, tweet about it, and or C, clip it out and use it as his ringtone. Like let's be honest here. Yeah, he loves when I make weird noises. But yeah, I mean, what would I do a video essay about? It's a good question. I mean, I could talk about No More Heroes all day, all night.
Oh yeah, and I support that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, there's game stuff that I feel like doesn't really get touched on enough. That I don't know, might not be deep, but the history might be interesting. Like I don't know, like rhythm games. That's something I've been thinking about a lot recently, like the history of rhythm games.
Yeah,
because people didn't really care about rhythm games in a big way until like Guitar Hero. Like I mean, there was like. There were rhythm games,
yeah,
obviously,
like Beatmania and stuff like that.
Beatmania. I mean, well, people like DDR, but that was still a little to the side,
Yeah.
Like, if I were to call my mom right now and I was like, hey, what's a rhythm game? She would probably be like, Guitar Hero. She wouldn't say DDR.
Yeah, I think it was
kind of thing.
It probably had a lot to do with, I'm not going to say this is all of it, but like in the early 2000s, obviously arcades started dying off in America, and that's where you would see a lot of that stuff. So people probably had to be like, how do we get rhythm games like home? Because people still want to play them, and these are like the only, like, you would go to places and the only arcade machines you would see is like a DDR machine and then like a racing game. Yeah. So like they're like, obviously there's demand for it, but arcades aren't exactly burgeoning.
And at the same time, you also have to think about how like DDR and a lot of other rhythm games were based around Japanese music, and a lot of the US wouldn't give a shit about that. So once a guitar game came in that had rock music that your 30 to 40-year-old dad knew what the hell that song was. Instead of just being like, "You winning, son?" in the other room or whatever, like, how you playing in there, kid? How you doing in there? Like,
Yeah.
they're like, they actually know what's going on and want to join in. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to talk about rhythm games in the future. That's something that would be really interesting. I would have to study a lot though, because, I can't really think of anything like earlier than like Beatmania. Like, I don't know when Taiko Drum Master came out, I don't know. It's gotta be something earlier than that.
Yeah, I want to know, like, are there like Famicom rhythm games? Are there like Commodore 64 rhythm games?
I mean, like, the seed of that has probably like been like, there is definitely something to that. I mean, if you think about it, like, the concept of a rhythm game can be found within stuff that you wouldn't necessarily call a rhythm game. Like, I would honestly call Punch-Out a rhythm game,
Did you know The Witcher 1 is a rhythm game?
I had some concept of that, yes.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's that kind of stuff. It's interesting, and yeah, like, fucking Mario and Luigi is kind of a rhythm game, or like Mario RPG, those games are sort of kind of rhythm games. Mother 3 is a rhythm game. Very much so,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I won't get too far ahead of myself, because now I'm kind of thinking this is worth pursuing. Please do not steal. Original video idea, do not steal. So, Rose.
Yeah.
How have you been this past week?
I've been alright. I've been playing a lot of Yakuza 0.
That's good.
It is good. It's a very good game.
Yes, it is. It's very stupid and very fun, and I like it a lot.
Yeah. That's exactly why I like it. There's always just something. There's always something ridiculous that's going to happen all the time, and it rules.
Like, it's literally, you turn a corner and you run into something stupid, and you're just like, oh, here we go. Like,
but I'm only halfway through the story.
Mm-hmm.
But I have finished both Majima and Kiryu's businesses.
Damn, there you go.
Because that's how I play games. And I think Majima's business is legitimately really fun because it's just Diner Dash. It's
super fun. Yeah.
It's just like, I was like entranced by it. I wasn't just doing it because I felt like, oh, I have to or something like that. I was like, oh man, this is really fun.
Well, yeah, there's like an actual mini game to it. Like, Kiryu's is just walk around this area and buy the places and then fight. But with Majima's, it's like, okay, yeah, no. Like, there is still that aspect where you have to go around and purchase places so you can get more influence. But there's also just the mini game.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like something that's like, all right, now I'm get like, with Kiryu, you're setting up advisors, and it just sort of feels like there's no actual reason to set up your advisors in a meaningful way. It's just, is this one the good one or the bad one? Okay, go. Whereas, like,
it's just like, all right, this one's tired now. I have to wait a week to put them, or I have to wait a session to put them back in. Whatever. Yeah, there's not really any thought to it.
Yeah, but then like Majima's is like, oh, I need to make sure that I have like these cool hostesses, and the reason I do is because what if this customer comes in, and then you have to actively manage it, and it's more skill based type stuff. And I really like that. I did not like buying the properties on either because they do not label the properties on the map in any meaningful way. And it's just sort of me running into walls, hoping that this is the new one to buy.
Yeah, when I played through that part, I pulled up a bunch of like video walkthroughs, and all they were just like walking up to the areas and being like, this is like showing you on the map exactly where it is, and then walking up to it to be like, this is where you have to stand to buy this area. And it's like, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, like there was one for the first area, that I straight up missed for Kiryu because it was just like, it's behind a street post and you have to be behind the street post and buy it. And it's like, how would I have known that? You
have to clip into this wall in order to purchase this area.
And it's like, it's just sort of frustrating, but that's fine because even though, as I've tweeted about earlier this week, they have the stupid trans segment in the thing, whatever. I don't care because the rest of that game fucking rules, and I can put up with it. I'm interested to see where that story goes. I don't know anything about Yakuza, so it's really good how they managed to combine silliness and seriousness.
It's masterful.
Yeah.
Like, no, I've never run into any series that like in anything, like not just games, but in like almost everything, where like the blending of the seriousness and the wackiness is so intertwined, but it still works. Like how you can be like laughing at something that a character does, and then like within 5 minutes you're just like, oh, no, like you're sad about something. It's instantaneous and it works and it's crazy.
Yeah, masterful is a very good way to put it because like that's exactly how I feel. Like it's just, even though these characters do these outlandish and silly things, you still like think of them as if they are like not joke characters. They are just they're the characters, and it's like it's really good.
Like 1 minute Kiryu will be singing at karaoke, and then the next minute he is like running from his past.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So yeah, I've been playing that. I feel like there was something else. Oh, I got Fire Emblem Echoes came out last week.
Okay, I'm interested to hear about this.
I haven't dumped a lot of time into it. I'm just like a little ways into Celica's route starting. So the way that game works is it's split up. You play as two protagonists the whole time. They're not like separate campaigns or anything. It's just one campaign, but you play as two different characters. Like Yakuza. And it's very different from modern Fire Emblem. It's very different from old Fire Emblem as well as the thing, because Gaiden, which is the game that Echoes is based off of, was always like a weird like black sheep in the Fire Emblem series, because it has stuff like archers can attack from any range at all, even like 1 square away, or up to like 9 squares away sometimes. Mages use their HP to cast spells. There's no durability on anything. You level up weapons and stuff like that. It's really refreshing as someone who played both Awakening and 2 of the Fates games, because those games are fun, but they're very, very simplistic because they have the weapon triangle system. And while that works for a while, it makes like a lot of encounters just really easily gameable. Because it's just like, oh, well, this map is just a ton of axe dudes. Guess I'll just have a bunch of spear dudes and then I'll just win. But Echoes doesn't let you do that. If anything, I would say the only problem with Echoes balance is that mages are really, really strong. Because there aren't a lot of enemies with resistance. So the attacks do a lot. Whereas like with physical attacks and stuff like that, defense is more meaningful in this as opposed to as it was in Awakening or Fates. So it requires a lot more thought. I like it.
That's cool. As someone who tried Awakening and couldn't get super into it, like just kind of liked it, and then completely skipped over Fates, do you think Echoes would be worth checking out?
It's tough because I think it depends on what you're looking for in a game. Because if you haven't ever played a Fire Emblem, you didn't really like Awakening, I would say probably just play one of the older ones instead, since this is like just came out. I think if you've played the other 2 and you're someone who's looking for relationships, not like specifically like supports, because there are supports in this game, but like the ability to marry off people, ship people together, stuff like that. Right. If you're looking for that, I wouldn't recommend this either because you can't get married. Okay. But the supports are still very well written. 8-4 Play localized it. The same team who localized Nier Automata. and it is a
They also
very
did
good localization.
They also did Awakening, but not Fates,
yeah, but not
right?
Fates.
Mm-hmm.
The one who did Fates was the one.
Those are the Treehouse.
Yeah, yeah, and it showed kind of, but. But yeah, like, I think the localization is great. It's really funny. The characters have a lot of personality to them. The art is beautiful. They went away from the artist who did Awakening and Fates, and they hired, I forget what their name is, but a famous manga artist to draw all the characters, and they have a really unique style to them, and they look just fantastic. Like, just all the characters, really. Like, I haven't seen an ugly character yet, or a character whose design I didn't think was, like, cool. So yeah, it's a good game. I think that if you like Fire Emblem, you'll like it. I don't know if you're not, like, necessarily a big Fire Emblem fan. I don't know how well it would pan out for anyone. But, like, yeah, I would just say, like, if you're not interested in Fire Emblem and you haven't played, like, any of the more recent ones or didn't like any of the more recent ones, just try to play one of the older ones, like Path of Radiance for the GameCube. Easily emulatable.
I was gonna say, let me just drop $120.
Yeah, no. My garbage computer can run an emulated Path of Radiance, so that works well enough for people if you want to try that. Or don't play Shadow Dragon. That's all I'll say. Don't play Shadow Dragon. It's a bad game.
I actually played Shadow Dragon.
I'm sorry.
In the past. I didn't hate it, but that was years ago, so maybe I just misremember.
Well, did you finish it?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That should, it's very bad. That was the game that was starting to kill Fire Emblem, because you probably heard the stories. Awakening's the big saving one. That was like the killer one, because, like, to be fair, they had been fucked over big time by Nintendo before, because you know how Nintendo was in the mid 2000s with localizing things over to North America, and which always baffled me, because Fire Emblem always sells well over here. Like, it always has. Like, Path of Radiance sold well, and then the obviously Awakening and Fate sold tons, to the point where Fire Emblem's like a flagship series now for Nintendo. But they pulled that stuff that they always do with games, where it's like, we're only doing one physical run, and also our digital market sucks, so good luck.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
So real quick before we keep talking to you, some breaking news just happened, and I just want to address it real quick.
Oh boy.
So Japan is going to have a shortage of Switches forever, because they just announced a Monster Hunter game for Switch.
Oh boy.
It's a port of Monster Hunter
Double Cross?
XX? Yeah, Double Cross. I don't know shit about Monster Hunter, so it's just XX, Double Cross, whatever. But if you're listening and you live in Japan and you don't have a Switch yet, good luck!
Yeah, good luck. Especially, I actually wonder what the Switch, like, stocking, that's the term, is like in Japan right now, because
from all the people that I follow on Twitter who live in Japan, they've been saying that it's been sold out consistently.
Okay. I was wondering about that, because I know they tend to have better luck since Nintendo's, like, there.
Like, there, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to still buy here. Like, I have one just because Mike sent me it, and then, like, I have a friend nearby who got one, and all she had to do was just, like, get to the Toys R Us early in the morning.
Yeah, that's what it was like for the Wii.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even that bad for the Wii, because, like, I remember when the Wii came out, my family was trying to get one, and they had to do that, they only got one doing that, like, getting there early in the morning, but it was, like, months and months after it came out. Yep. Like, my friend got a Switch, like, the month that it came out. She just had to get up early in the morning. So that's basically just what you do for, like, a normal console launch. Like, that's what people had to do for, like, the PS4 when that came out. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like the Switch is getting a little better, but also like it also sounds like it's still selling out really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? I apologize for interrupting.
Oh no, it's fine. That gives me. I like Monster Hunter. I don't know. I hope that actually makes it so that developers want to develop for the Switch, because that tends to be how it goes in Japan. It follows a lot of trends and stuff. If you look at like what did better to 3DS or Vita, guess which one got Monster Hunter and then did better?
Yeah,
it was 3DS.
Yeah. I mean, I just before we started recording, I read a thing that said that Capcom was saying that they would base their support of the Switch on Ultra Street Fighter 2 sales, which that game isn't going to sell well because nobody gives a shit, and they shouldn't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
But this seems like that was, I don't know if it was a lie or if they're just like, well, we're also going to try Monster Hunter.
It could just be like they know that this is the new Nintendo thing, and it's like they don't want to go back to Sony. I don't know. I've heard rumors that like the next Monster Hunter that's not Double Cross, the like actual, because Double Cross is a like you know how they do the Monster Hunter number ultimate type stuff? Yeah, this is that, but for Generations, the one that came out last year. So this isn't like a full new one. But
this is a port of a port, basically.
Yeah, and there have been rumblings that Sony might have locked down a PS4 version of Monster Hunter 5.
Jeez.
So I'm
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens with that.
We'd probably hear about that during Tokyo Game Show.
Probably, yeah.
Did you play anything else?
I think that's all I did, is it?
I mean, did something with Final Fantasy 14 happen this week? Because you're talking a lot about it.
Yeah. Oh, so they did. So every month or so for Final Fantasy 14, they do a letter from the producer, which is a very good thing that WoW has started cribbing on, but they have not mastered the format at all. Where it's once a month they do a huge thing where they talk about everything that's coming out for the game. Usually it's an hour long. This one was 4 hours long. And they basically ran down a list of all the stuff that's coming in the expansion in a month. Mostly it was stuff related to the battle system because they're changing how the battle system works. So there were a lot of changes to every single class. And it was a lot of interesting stuff. I can't really get into it too much because it's a lot of like, you have to know the game and then you'll be like blown away. But like if I told you that they changed it so that, let me think of something that you would understand. All right. The class Bard, right?
Sure.
All right. So Bard has a bow and they shoot arrows. Back when the game launched, the original one, Realm Reborn, Bards just, they ran around and shot arrows as a normal archer would. Then when Heavensward came out, they made Bard a caster. Like a mage. So then all of their arrows had to be like wound up and stuff like that. And now they're just going back to the old one, like the old way of them just running around doing arrows with no casting.
That sounds a little annoying. But
it's kind of annoying because it's like, like the original one, everyone got used to that. Then they completely dropped this new playstyle on everyone with Heavensward. And then now they're just like, well, you might have gotten used to it, but we're going back now. I think it's a good change because everyone kind of wants it to be like you run around and shoot arrows, because that's fun. You just run around and shoot arrows. But it is kind of frustrating. It'll probably be really frustrating for a lot of people who start up the game and then they don't, or like start up the game having played it before, and now they have to relearn that entire class.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other cool stuff too. Like they're getting rid of a bunch of stats that are useless and then making them into cool stats. Like they're removing. So before you had to put accuracy on all of the stuff you're wearing, and that was just like made sure that you didn't miss any attacks. Now they're just making it so that accuracy doesn't exist and you just always hit, basically. And they're replacing it with a new stat that lets you get a second crit move on top of a move. So like it pops up as like 2 numbers, and that's cool. I don't know. I like numbers popping off of dudes. But yeah, there's just a lot of... They showed Samurai and Red Mage, which are the new jobs coming. Looked cool. Mm-hmm. Red Mage does the spells, and then they go and they slash. It's cool.
Hell yeah.
Alright, yeah. That's about all I can say without like going like full... let me explain you everything.
Look, I'm sure that there are people out there who would love to hear you talk about Final Fantasy XIV. You can go ahead and talk about whatever you want. I'm not going to stop you.
I'm sure people have already heard what the thing is. I can wait and then see if anyone has any questions for the podcast next week, and I can expand on things.
Fair enough. You know what? Yeah, there you go. That's your thing. If you want Rose to talk more about Final Fantasy XIV, send in your questions about Final Fantasy XIV to the podcast.
I will answer them.
All I'm gonna say is, Rose, it's gonna be really fucked up if you're not on next week.
It is. Please, Ryan, answer. What's going on in Final Fantasy XIV? That would actually be fun because it could be like you have to guess. You have to make like some sort of vague assumption about what Final Fantasy XIV is like.
Here's my guess. There's a big monster and everyone's having trouble fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a new class that's the mechanic.
Uh-huh.
Who can build robot like minions.
All right. Yeah.
And there's a new location that's based on the areas from Final Fantasy IX.
Wow.
There you go. I just made up the next Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, that's great.
Expansion.
That sounds good.
Does it?
Yeah. No, I mean, I love Final Fantasy IX. So.
Are you yanking my chain?
I'm
does
not
that
yanking
sound
your
interesting?
I like Final Fantasy IX. I would take anything.
Okay.
They're actually doing the raid for the new expansion is an FF12 themed raid written and directed by the Final Fantasy 12 dude.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, they also have the dude who does all the art for Shin Megami Tensei and Garo. Garo's like a Sentai type show, lion themed.
Oh. Because I thought you might have meant Garou.
No.
And I was going to activate. But okay.
And he's doing the art for it. So they're doing like collaboration stuff, and they said that's what they're going to start doing from now on out, is like they'll have like a raid tier or something like that that's just like designed by people outside of the dev team, and that's really cool to me.
That is really cool. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that's all I did. Maybe. Yeah. Let's say yes. Okay. That sounds good. Yakuza, Fire Emblem. Yeah.
Alright. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for asking.
For John. What have I been playing? Just more Persona. I just started the next Palace, just because I've been honestly pretty stressed out about like moving and shit, so it's kind of hard for me to focus on games and all that, so I've just been kind of doing Persona here and there when I can. I did play some... Oh, okay. No, I remember what I wanted to talk about. So, this is weird, but 2 interesting mobile games came out this past week.
2?
And I want to talk about them, yeah.
Oh.
So, I'm infamous for giving a very glowing review of WWE Supercard on the site.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up doing that just because I didn't really play many other mobile games, and most of the ones that I did play were really, really bad. So just having one that was, like, functional was pretty surprising to me, and that's kind of why I gave that game so much praise. But now that I have played other, like, more interesting games on my phone, it's, I have standards now. So I can say that these two games are, one of them is just like a dumb little time waster, but the other one is like a legit game, and I think that's cool. So I'll start off with the time waster. I played some Magikarp Jump.
What is that? I saw some people talking about this on Twitter, but I have no idea what it is.
So it's this little game where you play as like a Pokemon trainer who specifically trains Magikarp in jumping competitions. Like, you just train your Magikarp to jump the highest. And all the game is you have a pond where your Magikarp lives. You tap berries that like show up in the pond, so the Magikarp will eat them. And then your Magikarp levels up and gets bigger. And then as it levels up and gets bigger, it'll jump higher. You can also train your Magikarp, which you do that by every half an hour you get like a training point, and then you can use that training point to boost its stats. Then there's like little events that'll happen, and the events are like your some guy comes over and massages your Magikarp, now it can train more. Or there's one that's really fucked up, and it's your Magikarp sees some berries in a tree. Do you want it to jump and grab them, or do you want to stay on the ground? And sometimes when you jump up there, it'll eat the berry, but sometimes when you jump up there, a Pidgeotto comes and takes it.
Oh, no.
And you just lose that Magikarp.
What?
And there's just there's all kinds of stuff like that. So it's a pretty basic, free-to-play, grindy game, but it's so cute, because you're just, raising a Magikarp, and you're just going around, watching it jump, watching it flop around, watching it swim with its dopey face. As you go around, you'll get, decorations that boost your Magikarp's abilities, and there's also, Pokemon that you can recruit to live next to your pond, and they'll boost your Magikarp. One of the first ones you get is a Pikachu, and the Pikachu will, boost your Magikarp's abilities, but also sometimes when you're jumping, Pikachu will just give a plus 5% bonus to your jump height. And every once in a while, Pikachu might save your Magikarp from Pidgeotto. So, there's just, all kinds of little things that you get by getting more Pokemon and getting more things. But yeah, it's a free-to-play game, so I'm sure eventually I'll run into a wall, but I played it for, an hour and a half, and I didn't have, any difficulty just, playing it straight, not worrying about, not even, spending any in-game currency. I was just, tapping things, and my Magikarp was getting more and more powerful, and I was able to keep going into the league to jump more. It seems pretty fine, honestly, it seems less like a free-to-play game where they're, really looking to make money and more just, a general Pokemon advertisement.
Sure.
When you start the game up, on the bottom of the screen, there's just, a bunch of images of, click here to watch this YouTube video about Pokemon. So, yeah, I just think they kind of just made an advertisement for Pokemon.
Kind of like the Final Fantasy Portal app. Which lets lets you play Triple Triad or whatever, yeah. That's cool.
There's actually a little TV next to your pond, which sounds dangerous. But if you click on the TV, it just brings you to YouTube, and it shows you the Magikarp song, which is just a song about how great Magikarp is. Yeah, it's very cute. And the other mobile game that I played this week is the Skullgirls mobile game.
How is that? I got a Line notification. It's because Line's publishing it, I guess?
Yeah, which is... that's something, but it's better than it has any right to be.
Huh.
You would expect a fighting game to be really, really bad on a phone. Probably the worst possible game type to have on a phone. I can't imagine trying to play a fighting game on a phone. But they figured out how to do it. Basically, it's less a just straight fighting game and more like a sort of... a tactical sort of game, in a way. If I remember correctly, I think this might also be how the Mortal Kombat game is on mobile.
I think so.
I don't really remember too much about it. But basically, instead of just, trying to do inputs and all that, you tap the screen to attack. You swipe and then tap to do like a dash attack. But all of your special moves are like little buttons that you equip on your character. So you'll tap those on the bottom of the screen, and then you can like tap the character icons to switch characters, to do assists and all that. And there's just so many like little things that you can do. But the difference between this and like, the Mortal Kombat one, because I did put my hands on the Mortal Kombat game, but this is like as close to an actual fighting game as you can get. Just because they do basically map pretty much everything you could do to this game. Like, you can pretty much combo in this game.
Huh.
It's kind of crazy. Like, you have to figure out, like, exactly when you're gonna do what, because, you have to, like, save up your special. Because it's not just, like, an immediate, like, oh, I can press this button and it just comes out. Like, there's, like, a little bar that refills every time you use your special. But as you level up, as you like unlock more goodies, you'll probably level up enough to have specials that do enough that you can, actually combo. So that's really interesting that they like thought enough about that. It is again free to play, so there are, hooks that are gonna make you pay money. You unlock new characters through, like, drops. You also unlock new moves, new abilities. You unlock so much shit in that game. It's honestly pretty overwhelming, the amount of, like, options you have. And they added, like, more content that isn't even in the original game. Like, they've created new animations, they recorded new VO. They did a lot of new stuff just for this mobile port. And that's, like, really impressive, for something that would definitely just be, like, a side thing. But I don't know. I mean, I hope this does well for them, because I've been on record of being basically a Lab Zero apologist. I feel like at this point, how can you not be? Because you just want them to succeed because they're, like, the little engine that could, basically. But, It's an interesting take on fighting games, and I hope that it makes them more money for Indivisible, because I want Indivisible to turn out all right.
Me too.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, those are both free, so just check them out. They're on iOS and Android. I don't know if Magikarp Jump is out like worldwide. I saw some stuff about it being like a staggered release or something, but I think Skullgirls is out worldwide. But yeah, honestly, that's kind of all I had the time to play, just because things have been so stressful.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been that and more Persona. I don't know if I mentioned that I might not have talked about this last week, but I'll talk about it again just real quick. I joined like a video game book club.
Huh.
And first game that we're playing is For the Frog the Bell Tolls.
I've never heard of that. It's
a Game Boy RPG that came out only in Japan, but there's like a full English patch.
Okay.
And it's really good. Like the English translation is fantastic. Like whoever worked on that, kudos to you. And there's just the way that they handle like fighting in that game isn't like actual like RPG fighting or anything. You just bump into an enemy and then you kind of trade blows. But as your like speed and defense goes up, you'll take less damage and you'll do more hits per turn. So after a while, you'll just like basically one hit an enemy because you'll walk up to them and it's like, oh, I do 3 hits and they have 3 hearts and I just kill them, stuff like that. So the way that that's set up and the way that like it staggers out like upgrades, like power upgrades and like new weapons and all that, it's almost a puzzle. Because instead of just like, oh, I'm going to fight this enemy, it's more like, I need to search the area, I need to find these upgrades, I need to boost myself up enough to just barely scrape by this fight and then go heal and then go into the next area. So it sounds like it's like poorly designed on paper, but the way that the game actually plays and the way that the way that like the world directs you to things and the way that like, you'll stumble upon someone that'll give you a hint. you'll end up not really having too much trouble with it because you're just like, oh, I go into this area and there is a tree blocking the way. I go to try to walk up to the tree. It's like an ent or whatever they call those like tree enemy things. I don't know.
Like ents.
Yeah, and it kills you. So it sends you back to the town, and you're like, all right, I got to figure out what's going on here. You look around you go back to where the ent was, you look around the area, you find a ladder that goes underground. There's an old dude there. You talk to the old dude, and he goes, if you want to cut down trees, you have to go to the town, and you have to buy a saw. It's like, all right, sure. You go and buy a saw. You try to use that on the ent. You die again. You're like, all right, what's up though? Then you see that there's other like slightly discolored trees around the area. You go cut those down. That's where the upgrades are. You go grab those upgrades. Now you're strong enough to fight the ent. It's just that kind of thing where it's like, and like it just dumps you back. Like the town is like 2 screens over, so it's not like you're getting super screwed or anything. It's just like some trial and error stuff. It's more puzzle solving than actual like RPG elements, but I think that just makes it more interesting. And I mean, I would recommend looking into that. Like I said, it never came out over here, so you're just gonna have to download a ROM. But it's really neat. If Nintendo does end up releasing it in legal ways, I would definitely purchase it. Because it's really neat. I would love to see Nintendo do like an actual translation too, because Nintendo does have that like spark sometimes where they like throw in some like really good humor. And I would love to, and I would love to support that. And I would love a new one of those games. I would love an updated version of that kind of game. Also, you transform into a frog and a snake at certain points, and that changes your stats, basically. Like, while you're a human, you can only jump so high, and you can't swim. So there's a castle that's basically like the main, you basically want to get through the castle, like the object of the game is to get to like the throne room or wherever. And, at some point you go through the castle as a human, and then you hit a block that's, you hit a huge moat. It's like, well, I can't get through that. You go through the game, eventually you get turned into a frog, all of a sudden you're like, I can swim now, let's go to the castle. It's one of those things where it's just like, things happen to you, you find things, you get turned into a frog, but then it's like, aha, the world is more open now. And I like that.
Yeah, it's sounds like it really is more of a puzzle game, like with that aspect and all the others. I think that's cool because I don't like numbers that much. I don't like thinking about numbers and stats, so that's.
I mean, you don't like you do have to pay attention to stats,
sure, but
it's less
streamlined type stuff.
It's less like, oh, I need to be this level or I need to have this much in like. You'll press start and it's like, oh, I have a 7 in attack, but I'm not doing enough damage to kill this enemy. I guess I have to go find an upgrade. That's basically it, and all it is just finding the upgrade in the area, because it'll be in the area. You won't be able to progress until you find the upgrade, and then once you do, you're fine. So it's not like it's trial and error in the sense where you're like trying to find the item, but once you get it, you're good. You don't have to worry about like, do I have to grind some more? Do I have to do this? It's pretty straightforward, and I like that. Also, it's very much like A Link to the Past. Like, there's a lot of A Link to the Past, like, references in it. Huh. It came out no, I don't know if it's A Link to the Past or Link's Awakening. It's either one of those. But there's, like, music that's, like, now, Frog actually came out before that game. So, technically, Link's Awakening or Link to whichever one has music from For the Frog, the Bell Tolls in it. Like, yeah, I think it is Link's Awakening, because there's also, like, a house in Link's Awakening that's full of frogs. And that's a reference to the For the Frog, the Bell Tolls.
That's wild. So, yeah. This was a Nintendo game?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's one of those like games that they make references to. Like if like I don't know how much Smash Bros you played, but like there's the assist trophy of like the little kid who turns into like a snake and then like runs up and like a dust cloud forms. That's because that's how fights look in For the Frog the Bell Tolls, because it just turns. Yeah, that's the main character from that game.
Huh.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully I'll have some more weird, like, older games to talk about as we go on for that, because, you know, I'm definitely going to keep, you know, talking with those people and hanging out and playing those games, and I promise, I'm not, if anyone from Nintendo is listening to this, I'm going to buy all the ones that I can legally purchase. I promise. I'm not going to the day that you make For the Frog the Bell Tolls legally purchasable, I will do it. I will do it. I promise. Alright, that's my legal disclaimer. Now I cannot get arrested.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That is how it works. Rose, let's talk about the news.
All right.
Would you like to talk about your news story, if you would? S'il vous plaît?
Sure. So there have been rumors earlier this month that Far Cry 5 would be more different from the other ones, which have all been pretty jungly, and actually take place in Montana. And now that has it been officially announced or not? I guess it has been officially announced, but they haven't really gone into much outside of they showed some key art for Far Cry 5, and it sure is in Montana. And
Yeehaw.
It sure is. They're going for something. Not too sure what it is. It seems like the theme of those Far Cry games. It's always like cult type stuff, right? It's always like some sort of like organization is focused around heavy militarism or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This time around, it seems to be conservative Christians.
Yeah.
Which is something I don't necessarily trust Ubisoft to portray in a meaningful way, let's say. You can already tell from like people have been making the jokes, like it looks like Duck Dynasty and stuff like that. Like it looks like that's exactly what it looks like. Bunch of bearded dudes, and then there's like a wolf on the table. I don't know what's up with that wolf, but it doesn't look great.
No.
And they have some dude with like Sinner tattooed on his back.
That's probably gonna end up being the main character, because they've done that since 3. Like the dude that with his head buried in the sand was the main character, and then the guy who's holding the grenade in 4 was the main character.
Yeah.
So
like also they have like German iconography on there. Like, so they have an American flag, and then the stars, instead of stars, they're the Iron Cross, which are a German war award, which is really baffling to me, and I can't figure it out.
I don't know. I'm a little worried about that game, because they're probably trying to say something about the news.
Yeah, that's what they like to do.
They're probably going to bungle it really hard.
See, like, I'm worried about that, but I'm also kind of not worried that they're going to bungle it, because if Ubisoft has a forte, it is that they are absolutely incapable of, like, delivering a meaningful message.
Yeah, it's like, it's going to be one of those things where we're just going to be like, oh, Jesus, and it's not going to be, like, anything, like, really bad. It's
like
just gonna
Deus
be like,
Ex
guys,
this year.
Yeah.
Last year. This year?
Last year, yeah. It was last year.
Yeah, but like Deus Ex, like that, it was just like they used it. Like I feel like that's what this is going to be, and it's just going to be like there's going to be like 20 think pieces that are like what Far Cry 5 means for Trump's America and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, I don't like if you look at other Ubisoft games, like they're just sort of like offensive out of ignorance, I guess.
They're trying to do something sometimes, and they just don't land it at all.
Yeah,
you know?
and they don't even try to land it is the thing. Like they just sort of like veer off into their own direction.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm all for, like, what in theory the message could be for this game, but I know that that's probably not what the message is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, and it's probably, I'm not looking forward to anything hearing about this game other than the fact that I think it's neat to have that setting be Montana, because you don't see open world games in Montana.
Yeah, it's a different setting, and that is very much the most interesting part. I'm just not looking forward to the trailer like having like a bunch of like crazy cuts and then the zoom in on the priest guy, and he's just gonna be like something great again. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Like, I don't need that shit.
E3.
I don't know, whatever.
We're only a month away from that, so look forward.
Well, no, I mean they're gonna show a trailer. Like, I thought they were showing it when the day that we were recording this, but I think it might be tomorrow. So by the time y'all hear this, you will have seen a trailer. And
great.
You know, whatever.
Oh yeah, no, it's tomorrow.
All right.
You'll see it by the time this is up. You'll see it. So it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Woo. The release date for that game is just sometime before April 8, 2018, is what Ubisoft said. So this fiscal year.
It'll be by the end of this year.
Yeah, probably November. Mm-hmm. It's always November.
So I have two news stories because I forgot about one of them, but I'm gonna stick to Ubisoft, and I'm gonna talk about something that fucking sucks and is bad, and I hate it. So the Rabbids and Mario RPG is real.
It sure is. Really
real. Like, Rabbid dressed up as Princess Peach taking a selfie real.
So for some reason, in all of my thinking about this thing existing, that never came to mind. Like, oh god, what would that actually be? And now that I've seen it, it's like, oh, I should have known.
Like, I don't think my mind was allowing me to process it, because, like, I basically accepted, like, yeah, no, this is real, because, like, nobody would just make that up.
Yeah,
like,
who would make that up?
No, like, normal human being would be like, yeah, no, haha, that's funny. Like, no, like, I mean, like, whenever people make up shit for leaks, it's always like, hey, they're gonna make Mother 4, or they're gonna make Metroid Dread. Like, it's, like, fun stuff that people are looking forward to, so when it doesn't happen, they can be like, ha ha ha, like, nobody would be like, guys, Mario and Rabbids is happening, because everyone would just be like, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, it's happening. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is the name of the game. There are 8 characters, which are Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi, and 4 Rabbids dressed up as Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi.
Yeah.
So, from what rumors have said, it's going to play like XCOM.
Great.
Yeah. So there was like the key art that leaked, you know, like there was this big image that was like the worst thing in the world with Mario like holding all the Mario characters and the Rabbids holding guns, which is insane in and of itself. But then like a presentation leaked with a bunch of like screenshots and stuff.
Those are wild. Let
me just read some of this here. So let me make sure that I'm pulling them all up here, because, oh my god, I don't want to miss a thing. So here are some of the slides that leaked here. First off, there's one that says Best of Two Worlds. Oh god, hang on, I have to like turn ad block on because this website fucking blows. Holy shit! Please block these ads. Thank you. Okay. Exploration 35%. Four world environments to discover. Control of Tutorio. No direct control of heroes. So I guess there's like another character called Tutorio who is like the like avatar or something, who like leads them around. Puzzles and secret zones. Twisted Mario's world full of Easter eggs. So I guess they're gonna go for like the Mario and Rabbids worlds collide, which, if you really think about it, technically, it's Mario and Rayman's world.
Who's Rayman?
dead.
It's so weird to me that they've like basically left Rayman to die after bringing him back in like 2010 or whatever for Origins. Like, have you seen him again?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's Legends.
Oh,
but...
right, Legends, but that's like a 4-year-old game.
Look, I mean, there's Easter eggs. Who knows? Maybe Rayman will be like in the background of a level.
You just find his gravestone. It's in the Mushroom Kingdom now.
You just find Michelle and Cell like standing there, just being like these motherfuckers. Like, and then it says turn-based combat, 65% of the game. Unique heroes playstyles, tactical options, dash, team jumps, warp pipes, etc. Upgradable and collectible weapons. Variety of combat objectives and contextual events. 7 enemies and 1 boss per world. Multiplayer co-op. So there's multiplayer co-op.
Oh, thank God I can have a whole gang together we'll all play the Rabbids, and it'll be great.
Now, I don't want to look, I want to be fair, because this is a French team working on this game, so some of the English being a little iffy is understandable, but I'm just going to read it how it is. This next slide says, refreshing experience. A conservative universe? No more. Humor and self-mockery. And there's an image of the Peach Rabbit taking a selfie. Turtle shelves? Can do better. Weapons for the first time. Which, no. Like, Mario can shoot guns in, like, Smash Bros.
I just like the idea that they're like, oh, turtle shell? Nah, get out of here. Doesn't Mario know what year it is? He should have a gun.
Yeah. A distressed princess? So cliche. Self-defense kick-ass. So, Peach is kick-ass now. I mean, you know, like, I'm not to say that Peach sucks or anything, but, like, the fact that they're, like, she can fight back now. Like,
yeah.
Come on, y'all. An epic roster. 8 playable characters with their own playstyles and personalities. Now, they have the fucking roster of these characters, and it is literally that panel from Tails Gets Trolled, where it's like, the cool guy, the guy with no ears, like, it's literally that, but with these characters. It's fucking insane. Like, it's beyond parody. So, I'm going to read off what each character is listed as, and I want you to please not keel over immediately. Mario is the leader.
Uh-huh.
Luigi is the eagle eye.
Okay.
Yoshi is the explosive head.
What?
Which, that doesn't make any sense. B, that's dirty. Princess Peach is known as the badass princess. So again, they're cussing. The Mario Rabbit is the macho man.
What?
I don't fucking know. The Luigi Rabbit is the unstable. Which, like, aren't all the rabbits, like, crazy, wacky?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna say.
Which, again, I'm just gonna reiterate, the Yoshi one is known as the crazy one, so... And then, the worst one, the Peach Rabbit just says #sassy, #nofilter over it.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm. There's one more slide, which is fucking hilarious, which is the timeline that they were expecting to have. It says, June at E3, surprise at announcement. So they were expecting everyone to just be like, what? When they showed it at E3.
Surprise, that's for sure.
July, convince the media and gamers with previews. Which, I don't know.
Convince.
Yeah, and then August, go big for launch, show it again at Gamescom, and then reviews will come out. So, I think it's supposed to come out in, like, August or oh no, here. It says, somewhere between August and September of this year, it's gonna come out. Oh god, I just noticed something. I just looked at the cover for this game, and I just noticed something that I don't think anyone else has noticed. There's like a giant rabbit in the background that's wearing a tie a la Donkey Kong. So,
oh no.
Oh boy.
I don't want to think about that.
It says here that the story mode length is approximately 20 hours.
Jesus Christ, that's longer. Okay. Here's my question. Do the rabbits have an enemy? I thought they were their own enemy.
I mean, I have never played a Rabbids game, but, like, from what I could gather, like, I remember in, like, Raving Rabbids, they were, like, invaders on Rayman's turf, and Rayman was trying to get rid of them. And then I think once they became popular, the only other, like, Rabbids game that I remember, because, like, most of them were, like, minigame collections, I remember there was one that was, like, Rabbids Go Home or something, and they were, like, trapped on Earth, and they were just trying to leave Earth. So, like, humans were kind of their enemy because humans were, like, trying to capture them for some reason. But I think I remember reading in the leaks. I think basically what happens is, like, the Rabbids world collides with Mario's world, and then, like, there's, like, a Rabbid Bowser basically is going to be the enemy, and it's like just Bowser, like, fused with a rabbit.
Is terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my. I hope they have cool things to announce for the Switch at E3.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I'm the most scared of, though, here's what I'm most scared of. I'm worried that it's going to be kind of fun. Like, not in the writing. Let me just say, not in the writing, not in the character design, but the thought of, like, a wacky XCOM, that's not a bad idea. I mean, I know that Nintendo tried to do it with, like, Codename Steam and they fell on their face, but, like, maybe?
At the very least,
probably not.
At the very least, maybe this will set up for them to make a good one someday.
Maybe. So the next bit of news that, oh wait, no, I think we might have talked about this last week. I'm just gonna mention it because I completely forgot if we mentioned it last week. I'll just mention it real quick. Oh yeah, no. We did mention the Witcher Netflix show last week.
Yeah.
But this week, they announced another video game-related Netflix show. Or, they didn't announce it, they showed the first trailer. The Castlevania Netflix show.
Yeah.
It's animated. And, I don't know, from first blush, it looks okay. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's got, like, a nice atmosphere to it. Basically what you would expect from Castlevania. I'll give it a shot. You know, because, I mean, I have a Netflix subscription, so it's not like I'm going to lose anything out of it. But, you know, I mean, video game adaptations are pretty much batting a big old goose egg, so...
I hope it's good. My only concern is when the director was like, it's gonna be gory and epic and stuff like that. Because I am fine with gory type stuff. I mean, God, I love Bloodborne. But, if it's just like, oh, look, it's gore for the sake of it, you know? Hopefully there's not, like, any, like, you know, gross out bits or something like that in it.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, like, I hope that that just means that they, like, you know, take those really creepy and, like, super high-detailed bosses from those Castlevania games and they make them look real gross, you know? Like, I still, like, as soon as they started talking about that, like, my mind was like, I hope they don't do it poorly, but then I was like, well, what could they do that would be really gross? And then I just think of, like, the Beelzebub fight from Symphony of the Night, and I'm like, if they put that shit in there where that motherfucker's just oozing bugs and slime, I'm totally down for that shit, you know?
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll give it a shot. It's coming out in July, I think July 7th?
7th or 8th, yeah.
Yeah, July 7th, that's what it is. But yeah, that'll do it for news. Alright, so now we're on to questions. If you would like to send in questions, please send them to videogameshoot@tumblr.com/ask or podcast@videogameshoot.com. And you will sound a little something like these fine folks. Our first question is from an anonymous Tumblr user, and they ask, have the crew ever considered expanding the podcast to include other forms of media like film? Well, I mean, that's kind of something that's more not to like shit talk anybody, but that's kind of something that's like more like my call. And I have definitely considered like expanding not just the podcast but the site in general. Like I have been in talks in the past with people to like write about anime on the site and like do like reviews on that, but it just never really expanded just because like running this site and making sure that content goes up on it is already hard enough when it's not my full-time thing, when nobody's getting paid for it. But like I'm absolutely not against like bringing more stuff, like like something like if we've talked about like eventual Patreon stuff, like we were like what if we did an anime podcast that people would have to pay for, or like I mean, I know Scott already does a wrestling show with his own friends, but like I know like Scott and Michael both really like wrestling. I don't know if they would want to do that, but it's something that has been like brought up here and there, but it's not something that we can really like focus on because it's like we already need to start doing a video again on the site. Like we already need to. It's already difficult enough for us to have a podcast out. Like it's just me and Rose this week, and like like I'm like obviously I don't mean to like shit talk Rose or whatever because thank you for being on, but it's already hard enough to get a group of people on for the podcast because everyone's got lives, everyone's got other things they've got going on, both with Chooch and without. So, hopefully things even out a little bit. Like, I know Ryan just finished college. Michael's just been gone for, like, 2 weeks because he's got things he's got to do. But, like, that's just how life is. And when this isn't your job, it's, it's something that you can't really devote all your time to. And I would love for that to be not the case. I would love to make money on this and pay everybody so this could just be everything that we do. I would love to just like my dream obviously is to just have an office and make enough money that we all live close by and we just come to work and like make videos and do fun shit. Obviously that's the dream, but that's very unrealistic where we are right now. I'm sorry if that kind of went off the rails a little bit, but it's the reality of the situation.
It is an answer.
Yeah. But I will build off of that real quick, and I will ask Rose, if you were to have if you wanted to host a spin-off podcast from Chooch with people from Chooch, what would you want it to be about?
I think it would either be I really like the idea of our spoiler casts, but to expand that into a further thing, I would say, you mentioned you're doing the video game book club style thing earlier. I would do that with some form of media, be it like a video game or even an anime, for example, and just have like everyone talk about that for like a week or something, and then we meet up again in like 2 weeks or something and then talk about it again, because like with Nier I've just been waiting for Ryan to finish so I can be like, hey, let's talk about it, buddy, let's go. I'm I'll buckle down and actually finish that soon. Don't worry about it. There's so many games I'm
gonna have a lot more free time very soon once I'm moved out, so if I move out. That'll be fine. That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Our next question is from Tumblr user Shoeless. He asks, this is a really good question. What is the best pre-order bonus for a game that has been released so far? That's really hard because like most of the time pre-order bonuses are shit, but what has been the best pre-order bonus for a game?
I know. Well, that wouldn't include collector's edition stuff.
No, pre-order bonus.
I'm trying to think.
If you want to keep thinking, I will say mine.
All right.
When the first Scribblenauts came out, the pre-order bonus for that was the chicken hat that the main character had. That's best
pretty
one.
Good.
Yeah.
trying to think. I know, like, when I was younger, I had the fucking Skyrim pre-order map hung up. That was alright.
Just basically whenever it's something, like, actually physical, you know?
Yeah, I have 2 weird ones that I remembered, and these are the only ones that I remember, is I knew that when you pre-ordered Sonic Lost World, you just got 25 lives. And I thought that was really funny.
That's terrible.
It's so bad.
What the hell? That reminds me of whenever they put out new Pokemon games, they always do like a bundle pack that's basically supposed to be like, oh, if you buy both games at the same time, they come in like one container. But then they also give you a code for 100 free potions.
God, yeah. The other one that I was thinking of was, I think it was either GameStop or Best Buy that did it. But I remember when I pre-ordered Assassin's Creed 4, they gave you a football that was black and it said Assassin's Creed on it.
God. See, like, I like when it's a physical good, and it's something that ties into the actual franchise. Like, if it was something like actually, like, if it was like a treasure map or like some kind of like a little telescope or something that like fit Assassin's Creed, that would be cool. But you know, like things that I remember are things that actually tie in. Like I pre-ordered Puyo Puyo Tetris because A, I knew I wanted that game, and B, because it came with like little keychains that had the Puyo and the Tetramino on it. And it's like, you know what? I love those little things. Of course I'll just put down some money for that. But, you know, like a good pre-order bonus thing is like something that actually like rewards you for being a big fan, because pre-orders should be for big fans. It shouldn't just be for whoever the fuck, you know?
I agree.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, fuck, you know what? I take it back. I take my answer back. I can't believe I forgot about this until just now. There is a better hat than the Scribblenauts hat.
What
that
is
a
it?
Pre-order bonus. The iconic cap.
Oh, the
from
iconic.
Watch Dogs.
Fuck.
I can't believe I forgot that until right now.
That is the best one. That's the best one.
That is the best one. Yeah, the iconic cap. I can't believe it. I'm like beet red right now because I'm so embarrassed that I forgot about the iconic cap. Like,
God.
Holy shit.
Oh
my god. I still want that shit. I wonder how much it would be to buy the iconic cap on eBay.
Too much is the answer, but
yeah, like more than 2 cents. Here, I'll ask this next question while I look up how much the iconic cap is.
Let me say one thing.
Okay.
The best one, since I didn't really say a best one, is, and I'm going to link you an image of it.
Okay.
It's a Resident Evil 5 snow globe.
Wow, that looks like shit.
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine you get Resident Evil 5 and the dude at the counter hands you that?
Oh my god, I feel like I would just like immediately drop it. Oh my god. Okay, Okay, so I looked up the cap, and it's just like cosplay. So it's not like the actual original iconic cap, but it's like, if you want to cosplay as Aiden Pierce, here it is for like $5. But it like also comes with the face mask, and I don't want the face mask. I just want the iconic cap because that's the iconic cap. Come on. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy the fucking. I have never. I played a little bit of Watch Dogs 2 because that demo came out, but I've never actually played Watch Dogs 1. I still want that iconic cap. All right, so our next question here is from another anonymous Tumblr user. They ask, "What is your favorite instrument to play in rhythm games?"
Guitar.
Guitar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried playing the drums, and singing is always fun, you know. But I was always doing expert on Guitar Hero and stuff like that.
Wow.
And, you know, having a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at singing, but I definitely enjoy vocals most. I remember back when I had it, I got really into Beatles Rock Band because, like, you know, I was a really big Beatles fan at the time, and I would do guitar and vocals at the same time, and that was really fun.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. You would just hear me like in the other room, like my mom would always yell at me for making too much noise because I would get so into the like singing and shit. Like, John, shut up! You've been playing I Am the Walrus for 3 hours straight. Shut the fuck up! And I'd be like, I can't. I'm good at it. All right. Our next question is from Tumblr user Friendazoned, who asks, what would Seinfeld be like if it were still on TV today with brand new episodes every Thursday night on NBC at about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
It would be exactly what it was then, meaning that it'll be them complaining that everything isn't like the early 2000s instead of like the 80s or the 70s. One of those decades. And they'll just be like, oh, what the hell? Why does first I'm doing Friendster and now it's Facebook and then now it's Bebo? What am I supposed to do? And then Kramer says,
my status, Jerry.
Yeah.
She'll like my status.
Oh, and then like, I can't even imagine if, well, generally they stayed out of politics, so we could be thankful for that if this existed. I don't know. It would just be the Big Bang Theory, wouldn't it? But like...
No, I mean, here's what I would say. I feel like pretty much every character would be a lot lesser, because like a lot of people point out that most of the problems in Seinfeld would be solved with cell phones. But I feel like the one character that would be immensely better in the modern age, and I can't believe I'm answering this question seriously, but I'm doing it anyway. Kramer would be so good these days because he would just be making startups and apps and all kinds of dumb shit.
He would be a blogger.
All the time.
He would be like a famous Instagram dude or something like that.
Like, I mean, there are so many ways the Kramer character could evolve in today's landscape. Like, everyone else would just be like, I don't like this. Oh no, I don't want to join Facebook to get to talk to this woman that I'm dating. I don't want to do it, George. But Kramer would burst in and be like, Jerry, I have this new app. And it would just be, you know, that would be his fucking story for the episode. And you could just build on that. Like, every single episode, he could have a new app. He could have a new startup, you know? Like, they could have the guys from Silicon Valley guest star or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. It would be something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why I answered that seriously.
No, it's
but
fine. I'm glad you did, because I don't have a real answer. My answer is just that would be a nightmare. That would be... I mean... Well, wait.
It would definitely be a nightmare.
I think, would it just be Curb Your Enthusiasm, then? Is my question?
I mean... Probably. I mean, we'll because I mean, how long has it been since Curb has been on TV? Because I mean, I know they're doing a new season. But
I think it's only
been ages.
Been like 4. I don't know.
It's been a while. It's definitely been a while, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Modern Jerry Seinfeld is really something, so I already don't want to know how that would.
Yeah. Our next question is from another anonymous Tumblr user, and I probably should have asked this one next. But whatever. Or after the instrument one. And it's just best harmonics game.
It's either Rock Band 2 or 3. I would say Rock Band 3 only because you can import Rock Band 2 into Rock Band 3.
Yeah. It's the complete collection, you know?
Yeah. Although I think the keyboard was kind of superfluous. That's my take.
I mean, it's not really detracting anything.
It's not, you're right. But also it's like, you wanted to buy the complete band set, I think you had to buy it with the keyboard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, eh.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of an easy answer, but that's because it is that good.
Yeah.
It
has Rock Lobster.
Yeah. I mean, Guitar Hero 2. That's like a monumental game.
Yeah.
Very important.
It's probably the best Guitar Hero.
People like Amplitude.
They do.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think Guitar Hero 2 might actually edge out Rock Band 3 just because Rock Band 3 doesn't have Trogdor in it.
I was going to say that was your answer as to why. And I think that's a fair one. I think Guitar Hero 2 also has Because It's Midnight, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It also has that limousine song. Yes.
So that's good. I'm with you there. Like, I love Guitar Hero 2. I think Guitar Hero 2 rules. But I think I wish that Rock Band 3 didn't, like, kill everything, I guess. Because, like, that was, like... Yeah. It was just sort of like, this is it. It's the one, and then it was like at that apex. Point, yeah,
everything's downhill from here, literally.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Here is our next question, from another anonymous user. And you kind of talked about this already, but I'll just read the whole thing here. What does Rose think of the new Final Fantasy XIV class information released this week? And for any of the other crew in the know, what's your favorite Final Fantasy /D&D style job or role to play in games?
I'll just say, like, for class information, I think that there are a lot of really cool changes that are very quality of life, like they're getting rid of you having to press buttons to do more damage, like just hitting a switch basically to do more damage for a little bit. They're getting rid of that, so it's more skill based, and I think that's a great move because I think games are more fun when they're skill based. And I also I'm just sort of worried about certain classes getting left behind because a lot of them are getting really cool fancy stuff, and classes like White Mage and Dark Knight just seem to be getting things that are like, I spin my sword around, or I do the thing that the other class does. So that's a little worrying, but I think it's generally positive. I think they're doing a lot of really good streamlining and lowering the skill floor a lot, which is really important because a problem with Heavensward was the skill floor was so high that if you messed up at all, like, you were seeing your damage numbers going down by like half. It was really bad. Right. So now it's more like your damage numbers will go down by like a fourth, let's say, if you mess up, but it's also harder to mess up. And that's good.
Okay. That does sound good. So, I'll ask this too. What is your favorite, like, job or class or whatever to play in games in general?
This is, so I play Dungeon World, which is like D&D. With my friends every week, and I just sort of made a Witcher character. That's a Witcher.
That's cool.
Yeah, so Dungeon World's cool because you can have homebrew classes and stuff. And someone made one that's just the Witcher class. Like, literally, they call it the Slayer, but it's like this suggested names, Geralt, like stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I gotcha.
It's cool. Like, you can do alchemy, and I just like the idea of having like cool sword stuff and then very rudimentary magic, like just really basic magic, because then it's like you're not like this weird, like, most mages are soft, like, you know, like they can get like killed really easily or something like that, but like
you're basically a warrior, but you could put a little more oomph in
exactly, and that's what I really like. I like that. That's why I'm into like the idea of Red Mage as they're doing it in Final Fantasy, because it's like you're doing magic and stuff, but also you're slashing them with your sword, you know? Yeah. Your staff is a sword. Like, that's cool. I like that stuff. What is your favorite style of, like, let's say, role-playing game class, John?
That's a little hard, because I haven't really gotten into that kind of stuff, but I do really like being a support kind of class. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little up in the air because partially, and now this isn't me trying to be like I'm always the leader, but in a lot of my like friend groups and stuff, I oftentimes help bring people together, in like just basically just by being like, oh, I know these people, and then they all start hanging out because I've introduced them and they become really good friends. So like, I mean, I again, this isn't me like trying to be like, oh, I would be the main character of the game. It's more just like, oh, I bring people together. So like an easy way to say that would be like, I would be kind of like the Fool Arcana in Persona in that sense, maybe. Because it's just more like about like interacting with people and getting like, and gaining strength from your friends too. Like that's the other thing that I think about, that like, that is an attribute from me, is basically just being like, you know, without my friends, I wouldn't really have anything. So, you know, that's kind of, that's why I associate myself with the Fool a lot. But also, I would really want to be support. So I think the character that I would compare myself to the most, to kind of, it's not really a class, but I would want to be Ness. Because
because he has healing and stuff, but he's also, yeah,
he's basically the healer in that game. And I mean, he does some attacks and all that, but I would basically just want to be like the healer that helps people get together and helps them be better people and helps them, like, you know, unlock the potential within. You know, like, I feel like that's what I've done with Chooch. I brought y'all together and I've helped y'all. Y'all were great. No, y'all were good, but now you're great. That kind of thing.
It's a good idea. I think, yeah, they're in Final Fantasy terms. You would be like a support type tank, a utility tank, as they say, which is the tank just sort of like, you know, they lead the charge.
Sure.
But they have to have the friends to help them do everything, or like to do all the fighting and stuff, but they're leading the charge, and also they're helping out in little ways along the way.
I mean, if I don't want to be too like full of myself too at times, I would also be really happy just basically doing what Futaba does in Persona 5.
Sure.
Like, I would just love to just be like analyzing and like giving buffs and shit. I would be down with that.
That's a good role to choose. I'm on board for that.
Yeah. Our next question is from Tumblr user CenturyPunk, who asks, is there a side character that you would love to see star in their own spin-off game? I want Bard Hero starring Dandelion.
God. Could you imagine what like the music would be like though?
Bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, I've read The Witcher. I've read some of the Witcher books, and like Dandelion's a great performer in those. So
yeah,
you know, he's a great performer in the games too. He's just also a fucker, and everyone just yells at him, as they should. But no, what else?
To build off that, I would say I'd want a Ciri game for The Witcher.
Yes,
I just want one where you just play as Ciri and do cool
I want
shit.
that to be The Witcher 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because, I mean, the Witcher books are honestly more about Ciri than anything.
Yep, they sure are.
Yeah.
After a certain point, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Persona, I wish they would give Naoto their own game.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think they made a manga about that.
Yeah, like a detective sort of game.
Yeah, just like, you know...
L.A. Noire 2, this time with Naoto.
Yeah, and there's just like some Persona bullshit going on. I don't know. I like, you know, SMT format. It's cool.
Cool. I'm just like looking over at my games right now.
I want a Bloodborne game where it's not, you don't play as, but it's about like the before everything happens in Bloodborne, where everything goes to eldritch shit, and it's just actually like werewolves and shit like that, and they're fighting them before everything. Like when eldritch. I think that would be cool. Either that or a post Bloodborne that's about like, I don't know, one of the characters that survives. Actually, like, yeah, like, since this is about a side character, then Maria in Bloodborne, I just want to see a game about her. That's all I want.
Sure.
She's cool as hell.
How about a game where you play as Otacon and you have to it's basically don't shit your pants, except it's don't piss your pants.
But like, wouldn't
you could play as Johnny Sasaki and it would just be don't shit your pants, and you would just lose.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, won't you lose if you don't as Otacon as well? Because he just does it all the time anyway.
I don't know. It's a great question. We'll see. There's also like don't fuck everybody. That would also be Otacon's game, and he would fail. Don't get your dick sucked in the back of the fucking sub. Oh no.
God.
I don't know.
I already got like the best spin-off game, which was just Raiden Metal Gear Rising. There you go. That's all I wanted. Look at Cyborg Raiden, you go give them a platinum game, and they did it. Goddamn.
Yeah, like as I was looking at my games, I was like, I glanced over at Nier, and I was like, well, you know, not to spoil anything, but like 9S doesn't really need his own game.
Yeah.
So, you know,
no one from Nier really needs their own game.
Yeah.
Luckily. Well, no, you'll see.
We'll see.
I won't say anything more, actually.
Sure. Fucking. Okay. Here's my question. Where's the Waluigi game?
I want to know that too. I think it's weird that there isn't anything with Waluigi. I then think it's weird that they didn't add Waluigi to WarioWare. Like, did the WarioWare dudes just hate Waluigi or something? Like, it's always been weird to me.
Wario's embarrassed of Waluigi.
Wouldn't you be?
No.
It's like Wario is like, I'm actually this guy, and Waluigi's just like, here I am.
Why would Wario be embarrassed of Waluigi if he's like that already, basically? Like, do you think okay, here's my theory. Like, Wario was like perfectly ready to just like bring Waluigi to Diamond City, like do all that stuff. But then Waluigi, like, on the way there, they went and stopped at the Mario Tennis or Mario Golf, whichever one. And Wario was like, all right, yeah, we're going to start making microgames together. We're both really creative. And then Wario was like, hey, let's deface this poster. And then Waluigi did that, like, Mr. Eyeballs thing where and Wario was just like, that is the least funny thing I have ever heard in my entire life. Holy fuck, I am never letting you anywhere near my games.
Wow.
Like, that's probably what happened. Just Wario, like, was awoken to how unfunny Waluigi was. I still want, like, a really weird Waluigi, like, game.
Me too.
That's just, like, completely off the walls. Like, I want to be surprised. Like, there's, you know, like, it would be crazy if there was just, like, a really weird platformer. I would be down for a fucking weird-ass RPG. Like, if they made a Wario and Waluigi game, like they have Mario and Luigi, I would buy 2 copies. I would be so happy. But, you know, I also want to be surprised. I want them to do something that I would never guess. So, we'll see what they do. Our last question is by an anonymous Tumblr user, and if you want to sound like these fine folks who sent in questions, you can send them to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask or podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. As I said before, this is an anonymous Tumblr user, and they ask, how ready are you guys for E3? Do you think this is finally the year EA manages a good press conference?
No.
So, yeah, first off, I'm going to answer the second part by saying no. No. They already announced basically what they were going to show, and half of it was sports games and mobile games. So that's going to be really bad.
It's probably going to have something Star Wars related. They have multiple Star Wars games.
I mean, they said that they're going to talk about Battlefront 2, which I think we all kind of know what Battlefront 2 is going to be.
Yeah.
So,
they're not talking about the BioWare thing?
No.
Either of the BioWare things, actually, now that I think of it.
Maybe they might. Maybe that'll be a surprise, but I wouldn't put money on it. Who knows? We'll see. And then how ready are we for E3? we definitely need to have like a meeting or something to talk about it, but since we're not actually going this year, we'll probably be fine. You know, it's just going to be all of us working and writing articles and all that. So, you know, it'll probably be not that bad. We'll all be working to make sure that things go up. We'll probably have like nightly podcasts. We'll have, I don't know, we're still going to talk about it, so we're not really that prepared, but it's like another 2 weeks away, and anything that we do would probably be pretty small time, so it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
We'll see. But, yeah, thank you, everyone, for listening. This was a long-ass episode for just us. Holy shit.
We did it.
Wow. That's alright, you know what? That's fine. It was a fun episode.
There's our answer if we could do a single player podcast.
Yeah, jeez.
We can do a 2-player podcast just fine.
Yeah, just fine. Oh boy. I would once again like to ask everybody to please go on iTunes and rate and review us. It is probably the most important thing that you can do for us. It makes us much more visible to people. We need listeners. We really do. So please, please, please share our podcast or rate and review. We also have a Discord channel where you can come and hang out, and we play games together. We watch bad YouTube videos together. We have a grand old time. And that is at thegamezone.zone. There are also links on our Twitter and Tumblr, which the Twitter is at VGCC, and the Tumblr is videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. So feel free to visit either of those and follow them, because that is also a really good way to A, keep up with us, and B, help us spread the word, because you can, at the click of a button, at the tap of a mouse, at the press, the grace of your phone, you can spread the word of Video Game Choo Choo from Twitter or Tumblr. I don't know why I put on that accent.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But it's the truth. And I'm on my knees begging here. Please spread the word about us, because we need it. But I would again like to thank you for listening, and we will see you next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Make sure you check the website, because we have articles coming up too. Thank you. Goodbye.